Contrapunctus grew out of Oscura, which was an ambitious idea for a multi-art form piece with music, dance and film, exploring the effects of mental illness on creativity and vice versa. Regarding the piece itself, there were many tributaries that fed into it. I would single out music created for digital and live human performers, in this case for disclavier and piano and pianist. Also the famous engraving by Albrecht Dürer, Melancholia 1. In particular, the troubling sense of creative futility pervading the image, the ghostly skull within the inscrutable geometric solid, and the numerical arrangement in the magic square, which found a place as a generator of musical durations and textures. Also, I drew upon unfinished and abandoned pieces of music, in this case the unfinished Contrapunctus 14 from Bach's Art of Fugue, and an unfinished canon by Chopin, which we used along with Dürer's magic square as basic generative material. I also explored a film by American sculptor Richard Serra called Hand Catching Lead, and this prompted the obsessively repetitive nature of the continuously broken open and reformed skull-like shape in the film. I also wanted to create the film with awareness of the notion of iatrogenic harm arising in mental health and in the therapy domain, and the clash of differing therapeutic ideologies. And this is represented indirectly, I guess, by many manipulations of images of Freud, Jung, and Joseph Breuer. Another really important element is the landscapes which I often find myself walking and reflecting in. Part 1 begins in a darkening landscape that breaks into 4 split segments of out-of-phase copies of itself, somewhat reminiscent of the opening entries of a fugue. The constant searching inside and remodelling of the ghostly head shape is overlaid, and it alternates with flickering images of Freud, Jung and Breuer in varying presentations. A process of foreshortening pushes towards a culmination and a climax. Part 2 presents a film of a film of tree branches against sky, again overlaid with a version of the ghostly head, but this time realised from a chance shape that materialised in the sky during the making of Part 1. In Part 1, all of the musical material remains mostly unintegrated and in conflict, but here in Part 2 there's a partial attempt at integrating the Bach material and the kind of angular disjointed rhythms and durations derived from Dürer's magic square.